Darren Till loses his cool as the tension surrounding Carl Froch reaches boiling point. What started as fiery trash talk quickly turns into one of the most explosive exchanges in recent combat sports conversation. Till openly challenged.
Look, if me and Carl can get it on, I'm willing and ready to get it on with him, so let's have a conversation. Me and Carl can do it when we go back to Misfits, or if we go back to Misfits, or if we stay with Bare Knuckle. Maybe he wants to come over here and earn a lot of money, because there's a lot of money to be made here, mate. Zeros upon zeros, bags of cash.
Challenges Froch, teasing the possibility of a huge Misfits or BKFC showdown packed with serious money. For Till, this is more than just talk. He wants to prove he is willing to step into the fire against one of boxing's.
They're giving money away here with these fights because Darren Till's absolutely fucking useless. I'm not being funny, listen, I'm talking about professional boxing level. At the level he's at, he's done alright. He's got decent balance, throws a decent backhand from a southpaw stance. But let's be honest, this would be a mismatch. Even at 48 years old, retired 11 years, it's a mismatch. And I just think, behind the sharp jab, plenty of feints, I just think it'd be an easy fight. And this might piss Darren Till off his season. He might think, cheeky bastard, whatever. Like, he lost the plot tonight, and he does tend to switch, doesn't he? The switch goes, and he loses the plot. He jumped over, he was on the top rope, where's that shit-ass Froch? And I was like, hiding behind security, like...
Most respected former champions. But Carl Froch is not impressed. The former four-time world champion brutally dismisses Till's boxing ability, describing what he sees as an amateur-level approach despite Till showing decent balance. A sharp jab.
I think when you're a hateful guy, when you hate on someone, I think that's because you're not happy within your own life, and that's never been the case for me. I don't go around like chasing things. I'm not a clout chaser. I don't chase friends. I'm just me, and I'm loved because I am me, so no, I'm not.
And plenty of confidence. Froch also takes aim at Till's behavior, suggesting that the fiery fighter allowed his emotions to get the better of him during the confrontation, and that criticism only makes Till fire back harder. Till insists he is not driven by hatred or a desperate need for attention. He argues that his confidence comes from genuine self-belief and self-love, rejecting the idea that everything he does is simply an attempt to chase headlines.
He's looking alright, but then he started talking gobshite down the mic. I was already out the building. I didn't do a runner. I wasn't scared for those haters.
In his eyes, being loud, unpredictable, and unapologetically himself is part of who he is. Froch, meanwhile, claims he remained completely calm throughout the confrontation. According to Froch,
it wouldn't surprise me, but like I say, I don't see there's any harm in it. It doesn't bring the sport into disrepute in any way. This is the show business world that we live in. There's the fight game, and then there's the fight business. And from the business perspective, that's probably just sold another 1 million tickets worldwide to people to watch this fight because they're going.
While security stood between the two men, he was simply sitting back and eating an apple, refusing to give Till the reaction he wanted. Froch maintains that his accomplishments speak for themselves.
Great promotion.
I think it's great promotion. I think it's ugly. I think it's
not a cheap shot.
But they don't. Of course, it's a cheap shot.
Do you know what I'm surprised, Simon?
Boxing is littered with cheap shots.
They don't need to sell the fight, really, do they?
Exactly, Danny.
Well, they do and they don't. To the boxing world.
Pay-per-view, you mean?
Yeah.
People see through it.
There's only one thing worse than people talking about you. It's people not talking about you.
Yeah, but it's how they're talking about you. Look at the messages.
As a four-time world champion, he believes he has nothing left to prove and no reason to be rattled by verbal attacks. But the drama doesn't stop there. Eddie Hearn offers his own perspective on the explosive face-off, explaining how the constant jabs, insults, and provocations appeared to push Till closer and closer to the edge. Hearn admits that he actually enjoys seeing genuine spite between fighters because real animosity can create enormous interest in a fight. When two competitors genuinely dislike each other, the build-up can become impossible to ignore. Duke McKenzie focuses on the business side of the chaos. He argues that moments like this do not necessarily damage boxing's reputation.
Getting bets, and that's what they're all been trying to do, you know, because he's thinking, if I can get this man angry, get this man mad, then he'll deviate from his...
Instead, they can create enormous attention, attract casual viewers, and potentially generate millions in pay-per-view interest. In a sport where promotion is almost as important as competition, controversy can become a powerful selling point. Simon Jordan takes a slightly different view. He describes the situation as clever but shameless promotion, arguing that cheap shots and personal attacks have unfortunately become part of modern boxing culture. At the same time, Jordan questions whether Froch and Till even need this kind of drama to sell a fight. Both men already have recognizable names.
Look, I'm a stand-up person. I respect those that respect me and that show me respect and behave respectfully. From the interactions I've had with him on a number of occasions, it's not been that. So I don't mind a bit of back and forth, a bit of boxing. Like, the game's the game. I'm not fussed by that. It is what it is. But ultimately, there needs to be a level of respect there, and hold yourself properly, act properly in the right situations, and those things haven't been done. So no, there's not.
Passionate fan bases and enough personality to generate interest. Frank Warren also distances himself from the chaos, admitting that he did not particularly enjoy watching the confrontation unfold. Still, he acknowledges that the actual contest could be a compelling matchup. For Warren, boxing remains a sport where careers can change dramatically depending on one result. That point becomes even more important when the stakes are high. Warren emphasizes that the winner moves forward while the loser could see their career momentum disappear.
But he's going to be dangerous. Like, all the attributes that he has, they still exist, regardless of his mental state. But I see a kid in pain, you know? I've got to be honest with you, like, I don't see how people around him can be looking at his behaviour and being comfortable with it. And
A victory can create opportunities for bigger fights and potentially open a path toward world title contention. Suddenly, this is not just about insults, social media clips, or promotional theater. It is about what happens when the bell rings. Johnny Nelson dives deeper into the psychological warfare behind the trash talk. He explains that provoking an opponent can be a deliberate strategy designed to disrupt their concentration. The goal is simple: make your rival angry enough to abandon their game plan. Once emotions take control, fighters can become...
To see something that's going to be quite interesting. You know, we say it many times, the winner goes on and the loser loses. In this case, the loser's done and dusted, and the winner will put himself into contention maybe for a while.
Reckless, impatient, and vulnerable. In that sense, the battle may begin long before either man throws a punch. Fabio Wardley offers another perspective, stressing that respect should always remain part of the equation. He has no problem with playful banter or competitive trash talk when it stays within reasonable boundaries. But when the behavior crosses the line into genuine disrespect, Wardley believes the situation changes completely. For him, professionalism and composure matter. Fighters should earn respect through their actions, discipline, and performance.
Carl is a straight shooter, so Carl will stay how he is. So, listen, John Fury did his thing. He got people's attention, he got people talking about it, gives you something to talk about in case the press conference was flat.
Performances rather than manufacturing chaos simply to dominate headlines. Then Eddie Hearn shifts the conversation into a much more serious direction. Instead of simply enjoying the spectacle, Hearn expresses concern about what may be happening beneath the surface. He acknowledges that fighters can possess incredible natural talent, physical ability, and dangerous attributes while still dealing with personal struggles away from competition. His comments raise an important point about the pressure placed on athletes in combat sports. Behind the confidence, trash talk, and public image can sometimes be a person dealing with genuine difficulties that fans never see. The conversation then circles back to John Fury and
against Carl Froch on the cobbles. Ever. But John Fury's a big old lump. There'll be some illegal moves in there. Do you know what I mean? But if they ever get close, Carl will be swinging. Do you know what I mean?
Carl Froch. Johnny Nelson praises John Fury's natural ability to generate attention, suggesting that his loud and provocative comments are often calculated to keep people talking. According to Nelson, once the headlines are created, the promotional objective has already been achieved. Froch, however, represents a completely different personality. He tends to rely on his reputation, confidence, and straightforward approach rather than theatrical mind games. That contrast makes the entire saga even more entertaining. Eddie Hearn even makes another bold claim when discussing a potential confrontation between Froch and John Fury. He says he would never casually bet against Froch in a chaotic, no-rules confrontation, despite recognizing Fury's size and physical advantages. Hearn believes Froch's experience.
If you're 6'3" like me and 17, 18 stone, and you like to stand up for yourself, you're gonna get into trouble, aren't you? But I wasn't bothered about fighting. I thought I'll have a fight with anybody. Win, lose or draw, I'm out there. Shirt off, done and dusted. You know, what can you get? A few cuts and bruises, maybe on toothpaste, sprained noses. Man got cheeky to me, was getting it. Right on.
Ring intelligence, toughness, and competitive mentality could make him extremely dangerous in any unpredictable situation. John Fury certainly does not sound intimidated. He describes himself as someone who has never been afraid of confrontation, arguing that physical consequences such as cuts, bruises, and broken noses are simply part of standing your ground when respect is challenged. That mentality explains why his name continues to appear whenever boxing personalities begin discussing intense confrontations. Carl Froch, however, has his own warning for John Fury. Froch labels him a bully and suggests that someone eventually needs to stand up to him. At the same time, Froch acknowledges the age difference and says he has no desire to seriously hurt an older man. Yet his competitive instincts remain obvious. He points back to his famous knockout of George Groves at Wembley Stadium in front of roughly 80,000.
10 years younger than Big John Fury. I know he doesn't look old, does he? He looks a bit older. I don't want to give him any stick, but he's 10 years older than me, 60-year-old man. I'm pressing on for 50. So, is it a fair fight? I think we both know it isn't. But he's called it on at Tottenham Hotspurs on the undercard.
Fans, reminding everyone of the power and intensity he possessed during his prime. Duke McKenzie agrees that Froch should never be underestimated. Even though Froch is retired and years removed from his championship days, McKenzie believes the former champion's experience, toughness, and punching power could still make him a dangerous opponent in any legitimate competitive setting. And that brings us back to Darren Till. Till's challenge to Froch has created another layer of intrigue in an already chaotic boxing landscape. Would this become a boxing match? A Misfits-style crossover? A BKFC showdown? Or will the entire situation remain nothing more than explosive promotional talk? Whatever happens next, the attention is already there. Darren Till has shown he is willing to challenge one of Britain's most respected boxing champions. Carl Froch has made it clear that he is not impressed by Till's approach.
To the core, so is John Fury. Listen, it's fun, it's banter, it's entertainment. Carl said to me afterwards, hey, it's all good fun, isn't it?
If they fought, who would win?
I mean, I don't think I would go against Carl Froch ever anyway.
Okay.
In a normal fight. I mean, obviously it's a long time since he's retired, but Carl Froch is a very, very, very top fighter.
That switch up there as well.
And John Fury's a big guy, right? And he's
John Fury has entered the conversation, while Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren, Duke McKenzie, Johnny Nelson, Simon Jordan, and Fabio Wardley have all offered different perspectives on the growing drama. From heated words to psychological warfare, from promotional strategy to genuine tension, This story has everything combat sports fans love. But the biggest question remains, if any of these matchups actually becomes official, who wins? Carl Froch versus Darren Till? Froch versus John Fury? Or does the entire saga simply create more controversy before eventually disappearing? Let us know your prediction in the comments. And if you enjoy explosive boxing stories, heated confrontations, and the latest combat sports drama, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next major update.